I'll just pause the snooker. The last time I did the canopy and I joined the both two sections together, I didn't actually live stream it, but as you can see, the well, I actually printed both halves last night, so that they're well within the same time frame. So, and they equalised pretty well actually. The Lego pins that are in that's the male and that's the female, and obviously the opposite one is the other way around. So, and normally I wait a day or two for them to equalise in. So that they don't have any seams. Well, because I printed them both at the same time, well, more or less in the same evening, I feel that there's no ridges, there's no edges really, so we can actually bond them together. Now sometimes I use the ABS glue. Sometimes I use the ABS glue and I'll stick them together that way, but we don't actually need that because they're quite soft already, and squeezing them together, all I need is some acetone, and I can either spray it on, or I could use the syringe to put some on. All I really need to do is hold them together squeeze them with my fingers, and just run it down this crack. So if I get the syringe and I just squirt some acetone down this crack like this, the two parts will just join up and be one unit. So that's what I'm doing. When I squeeze it, you can see plastic melts a bit, and put a bit more in there. And it's joining already, so I need a bit on the edge. So that bit on the back, and it will become solid once it dries. It's already sticking together now. That's pretty much it. So as the plastic shrinks, it will pull itself together anyway, and well, that's that. Actually, when I wind the new coils, the fins are different now. So one coil, I've got to put the coil wrappers on in these slots. Now I repaired that. Do you remember, this is the one that broke, and it's fixed now, so it's fine. So I'm just printing the coil wrappers at the moment, and they'll go in these slots, and I'll put them in later. So that's it for now. I'll just put it in the container and let it dry slowly so it doesn't warp. If you leave it in the air, if you leave it out in the open air, it can warp, but I put it back in this container and let it dry. It'll dry much more slowly and more evenly, because drafts tend to, well, warp it a bit. That's usually what happens if you leave it in the open air. So drying it slowly is the key. Actually, I need to spray that because there's a dry spot, otherwise it won't be equalising properly. I'll just squirt some more in there. There we go. So the spray is good because it's more uniform on it. That's that. So I'm just going to put this in the container. We'll leave it like that, like it's like a boat. And I'll leave that till tomorrow. Then I'll put the other parts, the coil wrapping pins, on there tomorrow, because it needs about 24 hours, maybe a couple of days actually, to dry equally. As I say, this thing is quite airtight, but it's not 100%, so the acetone, it has a tendency to build pressure, and it does release itself. It does leak out. Surprisingly, even though this container is made out of polyester, or it might be nylon, I'm not sure, but surprisingly it does leak out and it does dry in there. So, but obviously I'll just take the lid off every now and then, check it anyway, and not let fresh air in, and it'll dry more slowly. So yeah, just a quick update. And there's the coil wrapping pins that I'm printing at the moment. Zoom in on that. So they'll be done in about, what, 20 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. We're at 66%. They only take about half an hour to print those. They're almost there actually. I might actually leave the live stream going a little bit and let you see it. Let me just bring the camera in a bit. Because it's about to start doing the bridging. It's about to start printing the back edge of the 67% now. So it's about to do the, I'll try and get a bit nearer. Some of them pillars, I have to cut them out later. I mean, I didn't use support material because it makes a big mess. I mean, there's too much stuff bridging around. But so some of them pegs, I've got to cut them out when it's printed. The pegs that are standalone, this one like that one there, which got no leg on it. The ones without legs sticking out at the bottom, I cut them out. I use my knife. Anyway, I'm going to continue watching snooker. I'm watching a snooker on YouTube while that print finishes.
That was why I fancied him for that memory thing. Players do remember. He had that shot, the one where he fouled earlier this afternoon. It was similar. Keeping his composure. Interesting, that frame. This frame. Sadly, Robertson needs 2 snookers, otherwise it's 6-4. nice.
The reason I'll just pause that a minute. The reason I thought you'd be interested in watching the printing of these coil wrappings pegs is because every single peg is individual right at the moment. They're all separate, they're not connected together. But when it does the bridging, it joins both sets together. I mean, we have two pairs, right? Well, one pair. There's two of them, right? So, but at the moment there are multiple pegs, right? So it does the bridging part, and then they become all joined together in two. You know what I mean? And it's about to do that any second, I think, any minute. So every single one of them is individually stuck to the bed and it's not coming off, so that's pretty good, isn't it, considering sometimes you get problems where one of the pegs comes loose and it breaks off the bed, and yeah, and then it's a fail. But as you can see, they're all pretty well stuck down, so but I might jinx myself by saying that, so I better shut up. I was thinking I might reconfigure the magnet motor segments again, because I noticed a significant drop in the output, and I don't think it's because of the coil as much. It might be partly due to the coil, but I think most of it's due to my alteration in the arrangement of the magnets on the rotor assembly. And I think they might benefit from some other fine adjustments, so yeah, I'm probably going to be doing that at some point, but not today. I'm just going to leave it as it is for now, because I want to compare it with this new canopy coil that I'm going to wind on the new arrangement, because it utilises more output anyway because of the coil arrangement. It uses 4-pole axis instead of 3-pole axis, which is what the other coil was I just did, because basically the coil is only really coupling to 3 magnets at a time, whereas this other one, the original one, was 4-pole axis, and because of the coupling to the rotor. So yeah, it's better to go with a 4-pole axis, I think. So There's some other designs I wanted to talk about at some point. I've been thinking about making a triple wide rotor assembly instead of double wide, because at the moment I want a double wide rotor assembly, but using the middle section of the rotor assembly. There you go, it's bridging over now. So by actually using the middle third rotor, I could make the third one be the anti-drag system. So now it's bridging that one as well. So anyway, I'm talking over the interesting part where it bridges them all together. So anyway, as I say, I was thinking about redesigning the rotor assembly, but that would mean I would have to print a whole new rotor setup unless I can split the two existing rotors, which are stuck together with acetone and ABS glue. So I don't think I'm going to be able to get them apart now. So I'm probably going to end up having to print new rotors, but it's just an idea I was having the other day, that to increase the anti-drag system I need to incorporate the anti-drag into the perimeter of the rotor instead of just being down the sides. Have you noticed the overhang on the print right now? It's in mid-air. There's nothing supporting it, but it's hanging there. I'll try and get you a closer view. Right, see if I can tilt the camera a bit. Right. Oh, I can't do it, hang on, I just realised it because I'm zoomed in. Right, you look at that one on the far end. Oops. Oh, the printer head's in the way. The one on the far end is hanging in mid-air, look, can you see it? But it still printed it. Right at the far right. Okay, so I'll move the camera back. Hang on. So let me point the laser pointer at it and you might be able to see it. Because I can't really show you properly. Right, so if I can get the laser to point at it. Right on the end there. That bit is hanging in mid-air. No support material as well. It's hanging over there about 1/4 inch. Oh, it must be anti-gravity. Print job's at 92%. My focus looks a bit soft, I don't know why. Yeah, I really like that laser pointer. I'm glad I got it. It's really useful because it means I can just point at stuff without even getting out my chair. Oh, 95%. %. As I say, I'll be installing those tomorrow because I need the canopy to dry out a bit, and then I'll be well, in the meantime today I'm going to acetone treat those when they come off the bed and stick them in the other container, and yeah, trim them up, clean them up a bit and get them nice and soft, because as I said earlier, if you missed it, I've got to trim out those pillars that aren't on a leg. So the pillar is there, oops, and there, oops, there's got no leg on the end of it. So it's got, well, no foot on the end of it. So it's the legs without the feet on that I've got to cut out. So I put them in deliberately instead of support material, because the support material tends to go all the way around everything, and it's harder to remove it. And the legs are quite easy to trim out when you've acetoned it, because it goes nice and soft, and then you can just get the knife and it cuts out quite easy. Because when they're soft, you can't snap them off, you see. They're like bendy and squidgy, and you know, and it makes it easier to trim off stuff. Or I can get my pliers on it and just snap it off, you know. I just thought it would make a cleaner job anyway. And then I use the bits I break off, I just put them in my little tube and use it to make them into glue, so I can make glue out of it, so I don't waste anything. So I just make it into ABS glue. But yeah, oh, there you go, it's finished. So we can, right, so it's finished. So as you can see, those bits right on the end were just hanging in mid-air, right on the end there. The ones on this side are a lot smaller, so they don't stick out so much. But yeah, that's done. So I've got to let that cool now before I can take it off the bed. So I've got some cleaning up on them to do, but yeah, thanks for watching.